Welcome to the Shut-In Show for this, our 14th episode. Wow. I'm so glad you're here, Tad. It's really great to have a live studio audience. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. What an excellent time to be alive. We get to have live music, live shows, all on the internet, streamed directly to you. Let's get right into the good stuff today. We've got some breaking news. Governor INSLEE is going to be extending the stay-at-home order. That is not great news for a lot of people, but it's news nonetheless. We've got to stay home. We got to continue our quarantine isolation. That physical distancing is continually important. Now, it is going to be a slow. We're going to be slow in going back to the regular existence. And Governor INSLEE has started to talk about this. More states are starting to talk about what their rollout plan is for getting people back to work. It is generally a conversation of health versus wealth, which is not one that I necessarily want us to stay in too long, but it is, right? People need to work. People need to get out there and do things to be able to see each other and to make money. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what the plan is so that we have like maybe a date that we can start to expect things, because so far it's just been start and stop and start and stop over and over again. But here we go. We're getting into it. I'm going to post up the link when I can find it. They've not made the official announcement yet. They had a press conference to say they were going to have an additional press conference today. So there you go. Moving on to some good news, however. A luchador. This is a story given to us by listener Joel. Thanks, Joel. A lucha libre wrestler has transitioned his business of wrestling and making costumes for the wrestlers to now making masks for anybody who wants them. You can get them on his Facebook page, apparently. I'm seriously thinking about ordering one of these because they are in the similar style of the Lucha Libre masks. And I don't know if you can see this. Yeah, I think you can. I'm a big fan. That's my Nacho Libre mask. I recently, in the last year or so, have become fascinated with luchadors and Lucha Libre in general. I've never been able to see a show live, but I've always wanted to. Man, yeah. So I've been thinking about picking up one of these masks. Amanda's also been talking about trying to make some masks herself, so maybe we can just look at some of the designs and make something that is at least referential to the thing. But this guy, he's transitioned his whole business model to making these masks for people, and they're selling like hotcakes. He and his wife, they were in sort of hard financial straits, and now they're back up on top, just trying to keep up with the demand, which is a funny instance of what's happening these days. A lot of businesses, if they can pivot to providing something that makes sense during the quarantine, a lot of businesses are like, oh, whoa, because so many people are needing similar things, and when the internet gets a hold of it or when the community finds out that something is really great, they really want to get into it. So if you're aware of anything in our local community that other businesses are doing to sort of pivot and be interested in this, these businesses are pivoting to be more interesting to the populace, I want to hear about it. Another example of a organization, a couple of bars in town are actually doing. They've received like permission to do this because this is normally not legal, but selling full mixed drinks, just like a mason jar full of a Manhattan or a margarita made by I think you can get them down at Hogwash, various places around in town. For those of you who are 21 and older, this is a great time to go and support a local business that's giving you what is a very good product for pretty cheap usually. All right. Moving into some more good news from Pakistan. The country of Pakistan is putting 63,000 people back to work during the COVID shutdown. They're planting billions of trees. This is an awesome green stimulus project that can attack both of our crises at the same time, right? The COVID health crisis and the world climate crisis can be stymied in part by this effort. I'm really excited to see things like this where they're putting their noodle they're getting their noodle on. They're figuring out like what are all the things that we could possibly do here to get everybody back to work and to do these things that we've been needing to do anyway. So way to go, Pakistan. Especially it's going to be helpful for them, hopefully, because they're listed 5th out of the list of all the countries most affected by the planetary heating over the last 20 years. And this is aiming to counter rising temperatures, flooding, droughts, and other extreme weather conditions in the country that scientists are linking to climate change. So they're planting literally billions of trees with all of the workers that they're bringing in right now. So I'm excited that Pakistan's doing this. I'm hoping that we can find other ways to be creative as a city, as a country, to figure out what we can do. Like what we don't necessarily need to just be sitting around. I'm really glad to see when we can get our industries back up and running, like our construction in our city is up and running again. I want to skip this whole roadwork season that we usually have because we can get it all done really quickly, right? That would be ideal. In other news, in a poll by a research place called OnePoll and an educational gaming company called Osmo, 77% of parents polled agree that teachers should be paid more for all that they do. Now, this is an unprecedented time of the parents being home and students being home, trying to work on anything they can get done. And working from home for both parents and students is particularly challenging. Now, students are sort of used to going home and doing their homework, but for the parents to be the direct responsibility or the person that the student looks to for their education is a really challenging thing. If you're teaching right now or if you're a student right now, these can be really, really challenging times. And I just want to identify that and just say that out loud. Like, working from home as a student, trying to learn from home is really hard. And it gets harder when you have less clarity and have less like regularity. You don't get to see the teacher as often, but I'm excited to see the different ways that schools are pulling this off. I've just been chatting with a bunch of my students that I'm responsible for in the last couple of days, and it's really nice to have like a video chat or something just to have that in-person connection or something that feels like it, because I didn't realize this until I was trying to learn exclusively from home for my grad school program, but I get a lot of my energy when it comes to my like education. I get a lot of my energy from the teacher and from being in class and in person. So yeah, keep it up, students. Try to be in contact with your teachers as much as you can. It's a hard time for everybody, but most of the time teachers are so extroverted. They want to see their students and they want to hear the questions that students have. Yeah, we're approaching the end of the semester for a lot of students, so good luck. You got this. Keep it strong. Well, our self-care segment for today is a little something I picked up from a video by a videographer called Is Harris, and just her approach to this is really great. I'm going to link that video later. But in short, our self-care segment is move your body. Everybody move your body. Essentially, the idea here is to try and move your body once a day, at least once a day. Now, notice I'm not saying go on a walk or go on a hike or do 20 push-ups or do your online workout. The idea is that in this time, your goals need to be as reasonable as they can be. And not to say that going on a hike or doing an internet exercise is not reasonable, but with everybody's up and downs during this season, it makes a lot more sense to say my goal, and I will accept my goal, is to move my body at any time, in any way, once per day. And I've been trying to do this, though in the last couple of days I've been kind of stressed out, and I've been kind of more willing to accept that little brain narrative that's like, well, it's just going to be better if you just stay, or like it's too hard to do something. But oh my goodness, those few instances where I like got up and got out of the house and went out in the sun and walked around, or yesterday I went on a run for the first time in like 8 months. Oh my gosh, it sucked, but I was really glad that I did it. And it was literally like a 10-minute run to the end of one of the streets, like huff and puff, with my asthma really kicking back up, and then come back. Everybody move your body. Danny Parker 2020. That's the slogan. That and humans are solar powered. Those might be our self-care slogans for this. Thanks, Joel. Yeah. I just want us to identify that this is a challenging time to maintain any particular routine. But if you can challenge yourself to just do anything you can to move your body, you're going to feel better for it. All right. So now I am thrilled to announce the first of what will hopefully be several cooking segments on the show. My co-host, Amanda Parker, is going to lead you through a recipe that she made a few nights ago, and well, let's see how it goes. I'm very excited to see what you think of all this. Alrighty. And here we go.
Okay, so we're gonna be using this little baby right here. It's delicious. Oh, I'm sorry, are you done? Sorry. Let's try this again. We're gonna be using this little baby right... We don't need an intro. What is this, a blog? We're all aware how well that usually turns out. I just wanted to share this recipe with you guys because it was so special to me during my study abroad. We're just gonna get into it because it's not gonna get any less awkward. Welcome to Quarantine Kitchen. Long story short, pasta's my favorite food because why wouldn't it be? And it's almost summer, so we're gonna make a summery pasta. There she is. Avocado pasta. Avocado in pasta? Ew. No, try it. It's really good. Also, it was only a matter of time until a white girl put avocado in pasta, so let's just eat it, okay? Okay, this is pasta, so obviously boiling water. While the water's boiling, we're gonna start on the sauce. My favorite. The recipe calls for 1 to 2 cloves of garlic. I'm gonna double it, cause I'm crazy. And then you're gonna grab your fresh basil. I'm just gonna grab like a big ass handful. And actually before we add the avocado, you're gonna puree this once on its own with just the garlic and basil. Side note, you should have been doing this the whole time. Okay, so once those are minced, you're gonna add the lemon juice. It says 4 to 6 tablespoons. I'm gonna do a whole ass lemon. Then we have a tablespoon of olive oil. Double it. And of course, the avocado. These two were kind of small, so I'm doing 2 avocados actually. And also I've been doubling it, so. When your water's boiling, crack in the news. The only other thing that really takes any prepping at all is a little lemon zest, which goes on at the end. But other than that, you're basically ready. I don't know how the professionals do this, but I just like to whack this thing with a spoon. I don't know why this is a thing. It's not ready. It's ready. Okay, we're gonna speed around the rest of this because Mama's hungry and YouTube lies, and this took 2 hours, so. Noodles in bowl. Delicious ass basil goo on top. Whip it, zest it, garnish it, garnish some more. Drizzle cheese. Okay friends, that's it. That is how you make this delicious food. Thanks for tuning in to literally the worst cooking show of all time. If I had even 1 more ounce of patience left, I would have added sauteed mushrooms and shallots to this because, but I don't. I'm starving, so love to you.
And that was Quarantine Kitchen with Amanda Parker. Thanks so much for making that, Amanda. That was very enjoyable to watch and very enjoyable to eat. If you want to try and make that recipe, I'm going to try and find that thing and post it up there. It can confirm, very tasty. This is one of our staple recipes. We have it quite a lot. Yeah. Wow. Some video. If you liked that, definitely let us know in the chat. Amanda is a little nervous about her first thing, so please give her all of the compliments you can. She's also released a couple of other things recently on her website, which is amandamuchmore.com. She's got a great new video that's like the last 2 years of footage all combined into this really awesome thing. Go check it out. She's great. It's all over Instagram. And that will be pretty much it for today's show. That video, to answer Tad's question, Amanda made that whole thing. I gave a little bit of like after the fact editing things to make it fit better for the show. But yeah, I also need an episode of Quarantine Kitchen every day. So maybe we should try to make more of them, huh? Anything else from the chat? Yeah. All right, guys. Well, if you can think of any other great slogans for the show, I think we're going to go with Everybody Move Your Body 2020. Or what was it? Matt Kuiper said, food processors are magic. Yep, I need one of those too. Where'd it go? Everybody to the limit. Everybody to the limit. Yeah, that's the actual slogan for the show. All right. Well, thanks so much for being here. I'm really glad that you made it down. Eat some lunch, call your folks, and go for a walk. This has been the Shut-In Show. Thanks for stopping by. I love you. I'm Danny Parker. Outro.